From his horrifying sexual assault allegation to his habit of going to crazy lengths to one-up his opponents, this is why Conor McGregor's brand is too toxic for the NBA. Conor McGregor isn't exactly what we call the NBA star boy. The Irish mixed martial artist rose to fame by becoming the first person to hold 2 championships in different weight classes simultaneously. And these aren't just any normal weight classes, they're featherweight and lightweight, making him one of the greatest fighters in the UFC. But lately, the former champ has become one of the most controversial fighters in the promotion, and his association with the NBA is damaging the brand. The NBA is considered to be one of the most premier basketball associations in the world, with over 30 teams under it, and a huge brand like them is suffering because of one man's temper and ego issues. Recently, McGregor was accused of sexual assault while he was attending an NBA game, and the accusation from the woman suggested that Conor forced her inside an arena bathroom after NBA's Game 4, which took place on June 11. The woman claimed that she was confined in the bathroom and was asked to perform several sexual acts for the UFC star before he attempted to rape her. The woman's attorney, Ariel Mitchell, told that the Miami police had been provided with the clothes the woman was wearing that night. This is usually for investigation purposes, and the police will try and figure out if McGregor's DNA was on those clothes. Besides that, a report has also been filed against the fighter. But that's not all there is to this. In letters sent to the representatives of NBA, which included Miami Heat and McGregor, the attorney gave several details of the allegations and said her client is open to settlements until June 12. Otherwise, they will pursue litigation. Many fans of the fighter are accusing the woman of lying because she's willing to settle, but some are giving her the benefit of doubt, saying that it could be because she knows she doesn't have the power or influence to match Conor. Naturally, the UFC champ denied these accusations, and his attorney claimed that he won't be intimidated. The league, on the other hand, has also said that they began an investigation, and as if this wasn't enough, McGregor also sent an NBA mascot to the emergency room. Conor continued his streak of violence and attacked the Miami Heat's mascot. He was booed before he even went bonkers, but it went from bad to worse when he knocked the mascot down with a left hook.
During the skit, he punched the Heat's mascot twice. The performer had to be taken to the hospital with head pain.
The NBA doesn't thrive off of angry men screaming at and fighting each other. The players are actually held against a standard of conduct, and this is to keep them in line, make it competitive but respectful. Now, these rules may exist primarily for commercial reasons, but if Conor wishes to be associated with NBA, he has to rethink his actions. This history of violence and sexual assault has affected the earnings of the NBA, something that matters to any association the most. The UFC star botched a lucrative deal with the Miami Heat, and here's how. Initially, as part of the prelude to the deal between his brand and Heat, the Miami Heat were supposed to rep the title magic spray on their jerseys. This means that a small patch of it would be added to their jerseys. And then, a scripted fight was organized between Conor and the Heat's mascot for the promotion. But things took a crazy turn when McGregor lost his cool on the poor mascot. It wasn't planned for him to send the mascot to the emergency, obviously, which only proves that McGregor is out here actively looking for trouble. Going back in for an extra punch, and we all know how hard he hits, was just villainous. Should the NBA really be trusting a man like this to carry their reputation? The league deserves better than a man known for terrible behavior. What's worse is that it isn't his first rodeo when it comes to controversies. McGregor's been associated with more horrible controversies than championships. He made headlines after TMZ released footage of him punching an old man, which is as messed up as it gets. At a pub in Dublin, McGregor, being the owner of a whiskey company,
"Say it's gone to me head, but I'm still the same old underdog from Dublin who enjoys a rich and smooth whiskey at the end of a long day,"
was offering free shots of his proper number 12 bottle. An old man simply refused his offer, which seemed to hit a nerve for the UFC fighter. He then proceeded to beat the man until he was unconscious. Of course, people don't interfere when they see a UFC champ. He also only issued an apology after he was getting dragged on social media. People started spamming their socials and posting about the incident, which forced him to issue a half-assed apology.
In reality, it doesn't matter what happened there. I was in the wrong. That man deserved to enjoy his time
in the pub without having it to end the way it did.
But here's where it gets so warped that it becomes comical. He bought the pub and then banned the man from ever setting foot in it again. You exercise your right to say no, you get beat, then you get banned. Folks, this is everything money and fame allows you to do. But it's not even just that, it's how petty this grown man is. When you really zoom in on his behavior, it becomes clear that Conor needs to go to rehab. McGregor hasn't fought after brutally injuring his left leg during his last fight, which he ended up losing against Dustin Poirier. Could it be frustration and an attempt to prove his relevance? Still, it happened at UFC 264 in July 2021, and since then, he's been busy with intensive medical treatment to recover. He's off the UFC roster for now, but that doesn't mean he has chances of going back. During the lead-up to UFC 223, things got seriously out of hand between Conor and Khabib Nurmagomedov. These two were constantly trading insults and trash talk for months, and the tension reached its peak when Khabib confronted Conor's buddy, Artem Lobov. On the big day, McGregor and his crew rolled up to the Barclays Center like they were on a mission, hell-bent on finding Khabib. And guess what they did? They threw a metal barricade right at the bus carrying Khabib and other fighters. The dolly smashed the bus window, and two poor fighters, Michael Chiesa and Ray Borg, got injured from all the broken glass.
Smash the windows! That's why, oh yeah, Jesus Christ! Dude, what?
They had to back out of their UFC 223 fights because of the injuries. But here's where it gets real bad for Conor. The cops slapped him with multiple charges, like criminal mischief and assault. The dude spent a night in jail before getting bailed out, and he couldn't escape the consequences in court either. Conor had to make a plea deal, trying to wiggle his way out of the mess he created. But that's nothing compared to the damage he caused to his reputation and career. His actions were just plain dumb, and everyone saw it. Plus, the NBA sexual assault isn't even the first sexual assault allegation for him. The first came around 2019 when a woman claimed that he assaulted her a year ago in a hotel in Dublin. Another woman claimed that she was sexually assaulted by him in a car. And what's even scarier is that none of these allegations were pursued as legal cases. So it's very likely he used his money and influence to make them quiet, but it messed up his reputation. His abnormal behavior goes beyond these instances too, and he's known to be cruelly careless with his words. Back in 2020, Khabib's father was sick with COVID before he passed away.
And Khabib's father posted a picture up, and the caption is, "Together we are stronger." It's such fake respect out of fear.
Around this time, Poirier had defeated McGregor, and so Khabib took to Twitter to show his support for the winner and tweeted, "Good defeats evil." Out of spite and the sheer anger he must have felt, he questioned if the good was COVID and if the evil was his father. Nobody in their right mind goes this far, but he soon realized his mistake and deleted his tweet, but the damage was done. It gets even worse with tweets for this guy because after losing, instead of targeting Dustin, Conor posted photos of their young daughter and captioned it Gonzo. Now it could mean crazy, or it could be a reference to a genre of and I don't even want to discuss the latter. His own fans criticized him, and people from all over the world called him out. So, from his habit of going to crazy lengths to one-up his opponents, to his horrifying sexual assault allegation, that was why Conor McGregor's brand is too toxic for the NBA.